Hello and welcome to Race Space. Tonight we will be doing our second round of the SCORCH series on Project Cars 2. We'll be taking these cars to Ruapuna, New Zealand for a 37 lap race. It should be a good one. We had a great race last go round in Australia with Bathurst, and hopefully we'll see the same here. So loading in now, we've got all our drivers. Two new drivers joining us tonight. Got Berry's 150 you've seen before on other races of ours if you've watched any of our streams before. And we got Pressure joining us tonight. He started off in our GT3 Race of Nations series that we ran a while back. He didn't complete the series, was replaced eventually by Matsutsi, but he's back now and up to race again. So let's see what he's got for us tonight. Cars are in their garages there. Number 93 of Matsutsi there in the background. We've got the 78. I'm not sure, I think it's Kenny. So it's Kenny in the 78, Roy in that 74, got Trov in that 92, the brother of Matsutsi, BT in that 56 car of Savage Racing, Pressure, one of the newcomers tonight, in the number 62, 77 we got Shadow Britain there, teammate of Kenny for Shadow Racing. Ratek out on track now, the other member of Savage Racing in that green number 55. Dusty also out on track, he's in that blue and red car in the number 27 I think it is. And his teammate joining him for the first race this season in SCORCH is Berry's 150 in the number 26 car. So keen to see what these two can do. Dusty, obviously winner of the last round, he had some luck that allowed him to best Matsutsi and Kenny, who were very close behind for most of the race, sometimes in front. Very well fought battle by the three of them, so they're probably the favourites for tonight if you are trying to figure out who to watch. We know Berries is also usually really quick, so keen to see what he can do tonight. And who knows, maybe some of the other guys will surprise us here. Pressure still hasn't left the pit yet. It's obviously checking his setup there. Ratek coming around that last... oh no, that's not the last. Sorry, my bad. So none of the drivers have set the fastest time yet. I think this is the flying lap for Ratek, so he will probably be the first one to set a time here. No, BT sets the first lap time with a 1:38, so he's sitting there in first place. Rock there in the background in that black and orange car, his teammate unable to join us tonight was Ballistic, who we saw last week. He had a lot of luck last week. The race didn't go so well for him, but with everyone else spinning their cars over onto the roof, he was able to finish, so that allowed him to score some pretty decent points for not doing the best, really. Ratek up to second place with a 129, and Dusty right behind him with a 128. So that puts him up to first place for this session. Got Trov there, he goes up to second place with a 129.0. Very sideways around that corner. He manages to sort of recover there, so pretty good save. Matsutsi taking the pole there with the 127.2, so that is super quick from Matsutsi. The Matsutsi brothers, Italian racers, making up 3 of our Italian members in our community. Looking pretty fast here, the 2 of them, so they are 2 guys to watch out for, the number 93 and 92 Camaros. Ratek goes up to second place, he gets a 128.8. So best thing Dusty's lap just, and that puts him in a good position. Rock gets a time up on the boards, he's on a 133, not the fastest, but I think he had a bit of traffic behind him in that lap, so he probably let a couple guys through, probably wasn't his quickest that he can put down. Ooh, making a mistake there. That's going to cost him a potential fast lap there. And Dusty also collects at the back there, so that'll mess up his lap this go around. Berries crosses the line, he gets a 135, so he needs to do some work if he wants to get up there with the quicker guys. Shadow with a 135, he's sitting in the pits now. Pressure, he gets a 140, so needs a bit more track time, needs to get that car under control. Kenny with a 136, so also needing to go a bit faster there. He might have been involved in a bit of a hold-up situation there. Might have got stuck behind some of the slower cars, so this will be his chance to set a fast lap. This doesn't look like anyone's in front of him. Does he have what it takes to fight with these top guys here tonight? Pretty tricky track, this one. Lots of turns in lots of different directions. They can get quite sharp, so in cars like this it gets especially tough to stop the car from spinning. There's no assists in this car, it's bare bones, just car and driver. So it can be pretty tough sometimes to keep the car under control, but that just sort of adds to the experience there. We got Rock running very wide there in that black car. He comes back on track though. Running wide once again. Struggling a little bit in this car on this track. Kenny down that main straight now. Does he have what it takes to set a fast time like these other guys here? And that takes him up to 5th place, so he's with a 129 there. Matsutsi still only... Ratek in the 127s as well now, so 127s are possible here. Dusty almost breaking into those 127s. Super close. The rest of the guys just struggling at the moment to get into the 128s. Berries goes up to 6th place now, so he's got a 130. That moves BT down to 7th place at the moment with a 131. So these guys needing to just get more comfortable in these cars so that they can compete with those top 3 guys, I'm gonna say. Kenny goes up to 4th place with a 128.7, so he's climbing slowly but steadily up that ladder. Dusty's still not quite able to break into those 127s yet tonight. Four and a half minutes to go in this qualifying. Is there going to be any big changes here, or is this what we're looking at as our lineup? Final stretch here for Dusty. Is he going quick enough to break into those 127s? Still not making it. So Dusty trying his best, but not quite getting there. As we know though, it's a pretty long race, being, I'll tell you now how many laps. It is 37 laps. It's quite a short track, so 37 laps might sound like a lot, but it's not the longest of tracks. In these long lap races, it obviously comes down to consistency in your lap, but it's not always the fastest lap that wins. So Dusty moves into those 127s. Dusty up into 2nd place, showing that he has got the pace to match these guys. That's going to move Ratek into 3rd place on the start line. So let's see if he has an answer for that. Looks like Roy's picked up a 1 grid place penalty at the end of this, so if he stays where he is now, he will actually be starting in last place. He picks that up for crossing the exit of the pit lane on the line. If you cross that line, you pick up a penalty. Either that or speeding in the pits. I'm sure it's the line though. Dusty moves up to first, so wasn't happy with sitting there in second, so just dethrones Matsutsi there, who's actually in the pits. Probably thought it was over, probably thought he had set the best lap time of tonight, but Dusty wasn't having any of that, and he answers back with a 127.1. So this is probably the last chance that Mark Koratek there is going to have coming down this final straight. Does he have the pace? Unable. He's got 1 lap left to play with here. If he doesn't mess it up, this will be his last chance. Already looks like he went a little bit wider than he was trying to go there, so already struggling a bit. Very good through there, I guess. Oh, very sideways, but he recovers. Very good save there. Doing an awesome job here to keep the car on the track. Does he have what it takes here to answer back to Dusty's 121.1? Oh, sorry, 127.1. Final corner here for Ratek. Oh, massive spin down that main straight, so that is a no-go. Pressure now coming to that final corner. Is he going to place a little bit higher than what he has? I don't think he did, so that is the standings we're looking at there. So that's what we have for our qualifying. Dusty takes the pole. We got Matsutsi sitting there in second. Ratek is in third. Those are the top 3 going into this race. So the car's just seeming to be in a line here as we just wait for them to ready up. They're obviously just adjusting their setups, probably putting a bit more fuel in than what they used there in that round of qualifying. Dusty on pole, looking for his second win of the series. Drivers still just getting their stuff sorted here. I hope that everybody readies up in time and that we don't lose a driver along the way. Rock starts in 10th place with that 1 grid place penalty that he picked up in the qualifying. Very long hold here. Hoping that everything is okay with the guys, and the cars are moving, so they go on for a formation lap here. Dusty leading the charge in front. Guys have to be very careful here not to spin, so I think they're going to take it pretty easy here. Barry's looking to take the fight to the guys tonight. This is his first race of this series, so probably not quite as used to the cars as what some of these guys are, but I'm sure he'll do his best to get involved in the fight in this one. Kenny sitting there right behind him. Cars very bunched up here. We've got Pressure and Shadow with Rock just following there. Just to show the different range of nationalities we have here. Dusty is from the UK. We've got Matsutsi from Italy. Ratek from the UK. Barry's from South Africa. Kenny from the UK. We got Trov there from Italy, brother of Matsutsi. BT from South Africa. BT is also my brother, so... Ooh, we just see a car spin off there, and I guess that's Shadow. Shadow just disappearing off screen there. We got Pressure, he is from the UK. Rock there in 9th place due to that spin from Shadow, so Rock is also from South Africa, but shouldn't have been starting in 9th, but big mistake from Shadow. Shadow from the UK. And they're off. Over the line they go, and Dusty is quite a bit ahead there into that first turn. So it's looking pretty good there. Matsutsi though right on his tail. Barry's hot on the tail of Ratek there as well. Quite equally spaced here between most of these cars. Nobody wanting to let go just yet. It looks like Rock has lost the position there to Pressure. Also Shadow jumping up to 7th place, so that's interesting to see that he's made up some positions there. Goes back down to 8th now. Front 3 guys still fighting there. Big fight here though for 8th place. We got Roy there just spinning out in the background. That's gonna hurt him quite a bit there. Ooh, big nudge, or little nudge actually, from Pressure on Shadow, and that was a pretty cool overtake there. Pressure just trying to get up the inside. Oh, sorry, Shadow just trying to get up the inside of Pressure there. Shadow takes that position back. Bit of a bump into that corner again. These cars can take it though. They don't get damaged very easily. Very tough cars, these ones. So very good battle going on here for 8th place. At the front we don't have any major position changes, but the guys are all still holding on here. Barry's trying to look for an overtake move here. He goes around the outside. Does he stick it though? No. The door is shut there by Ratek. While all his attention is on Ratek, Kenny is looking like he's taking a look as well there. While this battle for third is going on, the front two cars seem to be pulling away ever so slightly there. Berries goes for a move here. Very fast, hard on the brakes into that corner. Ooh, Kenny punts Ratek there, and that leads to a spin there by Ratek. Kenny though waiting there, obviously feels bad about what just happened, so he waits there for Ratek, and that's good sportsmanship even after that bit of a mess that happened. So this allows Trav to get up to fourth now. He is not right behind Berries, but not also that far away. So any mistakes that are made, he's right there to clean up what happens. The fight for first place here. Matsutsi still refusing to let go of Dusty there. He is in it for the long haul. Just waiting for Dusty to make an error. Ratek now with something bad happened there, because he's dropped down to 7th place now behind his teammate BT, so he's struggling there. Maybe he picked up damage or something, because it's not looking like he had that car under control through that corner. So Dusty making a mistake somewhere. Matsutsi is up into first. Barry's right on the back of Dusty now, so the two teammates there in second and third. Matsutsi of Scuderia Matsutsi, the two-man team. His teammate sits there in 4th place, the two brothers from Italy. Pressure right on the back of Ratek, so he's actually looking to make a move here, and he does. Pressure goes up the inside there of Ratek. Something not looking healthy about Ratek's car. He's definitely struggling there compared to how he was at the start of this race. The top 3 guys pulling away here. This is starting to remind me of last week's race. The top 3 drivers just managed to pull a big gap on the rest of the field. Kenny was actually in that pack last week, but he's sitting here in 5th place, so obviously losing the position to Trav there due to slowing down after his contact with Ratek, after feeling a bit bad for giving him a nudge off into the grass. So he has to try and make up that position now. Berries and Dusty are through on Matsutsi, so Matsutsi making an error somewhere, probably spun off, and that's allowed these two teammates of Red Eye Racing to go through, the 26 and 27 cars of Dusty and Berries. BT there, sort of in no man's land there. Doesn't look like he's got any cars around him, so it could be a good or a bad thing. Got Kenny now moving on to the back of Trov there, so he's started to catch that car in front of him and he's looking to get past. Roy back on the back of pressure there, so also trying to work his way up the field if he can. Is Kenny going to try and move soon here? He is super close to Trov there. Ooh, car exiting the pits there, and that is the second Shadow Racing car. We've got Shadow Britain there, just exits the pit, and cars there have to move over, so that may have slowed Kenny down slightly as he was trying to overtake Trov there, so he may just sit behind for another lap unless Trov makes another mistake somewhere along the way. Barry's super close to Dusty here. Using almost identical lines, the two of them. Ooh. And Matsutsi almost spinning out completely there. He manages to save it though. It has slowed him down, but doesn't spin out completely, which is a good thing for him. Trav there just still holding off Kenny in the back there. Is Kenny going to try and move somewhere here? Very late on the brakes from both of them, but it doesn't look like any time was gained for either of them because of that. Matsutsi, he goes up the side of Dusty, so Dusty makes a mistake and Berries is now leading the race in first place. Side by side here for Matsutsi and Dusty. The two of these guys really, both of them very quick. Remember, they're the only two to set those 127s earlier. Matsutsi manages to get through there. For now, is Dusty going to try another move here? So Matsutsi looks like he's comfortably through there as they go down that straight to cross that start-finish line. Kenny's still on the back of Trov there. He's trying everything he can to get through. BT spins there. This allows Ratek through, so Ratek is slowly climbing the ladder again there. Just getting a bit higher on the leaderboard. Kenny side by side here with Trov. Going down this back straight. Hard on the brakes there. Big bump, the two of them, and it doesn't go well for Trov. So Trov spins out. Nobody's fault really, but Trov just losing control of the car there. So Kenny is up to 4th place once again. Barry's quite a way out in front now. Can he... Ooh, runs it wide there. Runs it super wide, so that might allow the guys behind to just catch him slightly. All the cars sort of spacing out now. There's not much battles going on the track right now. Let's see what these guys are doing here. We've got Shadow. Pressure there in 9th place. Roy managing to make up 2 positions in this race, so going from 10th he goes up to 8th place so far in this race. Barry's just driving there. He seems to have everything under control at the moment, and on the 10th lap he has a pretty decent lead here. We know from the last race though that the positions can change very quickly in these cars in this series, and Barriers could make a mistake at any time, allowing any of these other 2 guys to get through again. Also something that happened last race in Bathurst, but there was walls there, which was probably a massive factor, was the guys were flipping the cars onto the roof. I think about 3 or 4 of the drivers were unable to complete the race because of landing on the roof, so hopefully nobody does that tonight and everybody finishes. Ooh, can see a mistake made there by Dusty in the background. That'll cost him a little. Ratic there just overtaking a back marker. That will be Shadow. The 2 Savage Racing cars sitting in 6th and 7th at the moment. Unfortunate for Ratek, he was in the top 3 on the start. Definitely has what it takes to put in fast lap times with this car, but just not seeming to have luck during these races. Actually seems like Berries is pulling away here. Slowly carving out a bigger lead each lap. Dusty has fallen off the back of these front 2 cars, but it's not looking slow, so he will be there to pick up on any mistakes made, you can be sure on that. Matsutsi right on the back of Barry's again, so Barry's making a mistake somewhere along the way. The guys are coming up on back markers here, so this might slow them down a little bit as they try and navigate their way through here. Berries goes down that straight. This will take them on to their 14th lap of the race. Can see their pressure just moving over and allowing these front runners to get through there. Berries and Matsutsi are through, but Dusty not through yet, so that might space him out a little bit more now. Pretty sideways there from Berries. He doesn't spin it, but it was a close call. Pressure in the background there doing the similar sort of thing. "15 laps now for Berries." Matsutsi right behind him again, so Matsutsi very fast somewhere in one of those sections. Maybe later on the brakes and Berries into that first corner. Matsutsi very close behind now. The battle is on once again. Ooh, running wide there because he slid off the inside of that corner by the looks of it, so he's feeling the pressure here from Matsutsi, I think. Runs wide once again. Is Matsutsi going to be able to outbrake him here? Matsutsi very close, breathing down his neck there. Dusty making a mistake somewhere. He's spun off and he drops quite far back now, so he's got Kenny right on his tail now, so a fight gonna happen for third place now as well as for first. Catching up to Shadow now. Ooh, Shadow spinning out there. Shadow resetting to track there by the looks of it. That's not allowed. It is one of our biggest rules here in race space, is we don't reset to track. There's nothing worse than a car resetting in front of you when you are trying to race. Kenny breathing down the neck of Dusty there. Ooh, Barry's big spin, so that allows Matsutsi through. Matsutsi will take that one. So Matsutsi now with a very good lead there. That's what he was waiting for. Just for one little slip up from Barry's, and capitalizes on the mistake. Kenny now will just be holding on, hoping for something similar so that he can jump up to the third position. Shadow there, up in the wall. With 18 laps done, Matsutsi just leading the pack. He won't have as much pressure as what Barry's had on him earlier, but he will still be feeling the pressure for sure, so he's just got to try and not make any mistakes here and just keep setting some comfortable lap times. Dusty gonna be feeling pressure here though, as Kenny still refuses to let go of the back of his car there. Kenny just waiting for a moment like what Matsutsi was able to get there from Barry's. Trov pretty much in no man's land there at the moment, racing his own race, sitting in the middle of the pack here in 5th. Nothing in front of him, nothing behind him, just open road. Ratic moving up on a back marker there. Rock doing well to have moved up 2 positions this race, so he's just not that far off of BT by the looks of things. Unless he's a lap less, which I don't think he is. So BT and Rock could still fight here for position. gap between Dusty and Kenny doesn't look to be getting any smaller, so unless he makes a mistake somewhere along the way, it doesn't look like Kenny is catching him. Matsutsi now passing Rock. So he puts a back marker between him and Berries. Kenny's still holding on, but just not managing to close that gap. Matsutsi is gonna cross the line there to go on to his 21st lap of this race. (21 out of 37 laps). This race is progressing. There will be some rain at the end, so that might add a twist to things. The rain will come near the very end of this race, so we might see a couple more mistakes made, maybe some more position changes, but that will be coming a bit later. Matsutsi just a bit slow through there somewhere, because Berries is on the back of him once again. Can see Dusty with Kenny right behind him over there as well. So these top 4 positions still anyone's game at the moment. Radtech making a mistake somewhere. He drops down to 7th place behind BT. So the two teammates here also racing each other for 6th and 7th. Barry's just trying to claw his way back into 1st place there. Just applying pressure bit by bit, hoping that Matsutsi makes a mistake somewhere so that he can get past. Matsutsi just needs to keep a clear head though and keep putting in the good laps. Radtech making some big mistakes again, because he is dropping back. The last few laps have not been good for Radtech, and he manages to save that drift, but it could have been bad once again. Stretch of bad luck here for Radtech tonight. So Matsutsi is looking to take his first win of this series. Can he do it? Just has to hold off Berries, who's racing his first race of the series tonight, even though this is round 2 of the series. Pressure sitting at 9th at the moment, in that number 62. Also one of our new drivers for the night, joining in our second round of the series. Pretty tough to get used to these cars in the beginning, but I'm sure as the series progresses, these guys are going to start getting a lot quicker, a lot more comfortable with what they can do with these cars. The two Savage Racing guys are fighting there for 6th place. We've got Ratek and BT in the 55 and 56 cars. Dusty manages to get up to 2nd. How did that? Berries makes a big mistake somewhere, letting the 2 cars behind him through. So Dusty is up into 2nd place, and Matsutsi gets an even larger lead here. So very comfortable now for Matsutsi. He just needs to keep his... Oh, massive drift there. That's not what he wanted. Not what we said about keeping a cool head here. So Dusty is right behind him now. So Dusty is back in the fight for 1st place, wanting to take his 2nd win for this series. Front 2 cars now go over that start-finish line for the 25th lap of tonight's race. Bit wide there from Dusty, but he manages to keep the car on the track. Matsutsi is definitely going to be feeling the pressure now after that big mistake. Kenny also very close behind Dusty, so this is still anybody's race as we watch right now. Matsutsi coming up on the back of pressure there, so they are coming up on the back markers. Will this affect these top 3 drivers, or will they manage to get through safely? Matsutsi, his windscreen wipers are on, so that may just let us know that the rain has started. Yes, we can see the rain there, so the rain has started now, so there might be some more drifts and slides and position changes here. You can see the rain. It's going to be much harder now to keep these cars on the track, trying to avoid the slides. There are no assists in these cars, so It is just man and machine. You can see Dusty's windscreen wipers have come on now, as the rain is likely getting a bit heavier. Kenny falling off the back there a little bit, most likely making a mistake here in the rain. The rain not seeming to affect Matsutsi and Dusty here too much. These guys are gonna have to probably start adjusting their brake markers now, as the water just gets a bit thicker on track. Still going pretty quick though, these two front guys. We've lost the car. Pressure is gone. Pressure has disappeared from the race. I'm not sure if it was a disconnection or if he left. Might be a retirement here. So we are down to 9 cars from the 10 that started tonight. The water much thicker now on track. You can see all the spray coming off the track now. Dusty getting very close now. Matsutsi going wide. Dusty goes up the inside, but Dusty goes off track and into those tires, so that slows him down, allowing Matsutsi back into his original position there. The guy's struggling a lot now with this rain. So Dusty falling back there a little bit. BT is fighting with Roy now, so Rock has managed to overtake BT and get up to 7th place, but BT right behind him, so it's not his position just quite yet. BT sitting in that spray there. Not sure why Precious' car keeps glitching around the track. He is shown as out of this race, so if he's like hanging in the balance and he's not actually in the race, and something is wrong, he should probably leave if it's affecting everybody. But BT up the outside now of Roy, very late on the brakes though, so he goes off the track into the grass. Roy goes in the grass on the inside, but BT is through, still on the grass. Big drift, he loses it to Roy on that corner. Roy goes up the inside. Great battle here for 7th place at the moment. The guys really struggling to keep the cars on the track though, as this rain gets a bit heavier. Matsutsi has built up quite a lead now on Dusty. Dusty must be struggling a little bit more with this rain. Kenny also pulling a gap there on his past teammate from the GT3 series, Berries. Trav sitting comfortably in 5th still. He hasn't had many people to race with for most of this race, just been sort of in no man's land there in the middle. Very quiet race for him. Ratek managing to get back up to 6th after a lot of disasters so far in this race for him. He did qualify in 3rd place, so he would have hoped for better, I'm sure. Matsutsi though looking very comfortable in this rain. Ooh, too fast in there, so he goes off into the grass. This is going to allow Dusty to catch up to him again, but the lead was big enough that he gets back out on the track and still with enough of a gap to hold on to 1st. So that just shows how much some of these guys are struggling now with the rain. BT back behind Rock there. And then it's a drag race down this long straight. Will any of them make any mistakes on the brakes here like Matsutsi did? So that is Trav going through some back markers there. He gets through on BT and Rock, but BT gets through on Rock, so BT up to 7th now. Matsutsi going through to his 33rd lap now. 33 of 37. We're getting close to the end of tonight's race. Dusty falling off quite a bit now, and Kenny and Barry's also. So unless Matsutsi makes a long line of bad mistakes now, it looks like he is looking like he might win this one. Pretty good race tonight from Berries. He led for quite a few laps this race, but made a mistake or two which dropped him back down to 4th. Pretty solid though. He's definitely going to be one to watch going forward in this series. Trove having a pretty comfortable race so far. Ooh, we got Ratek there. I think, no, it must have been BT. BT goes off into the grass, so he did manage to pull a gap on Rock, but if he doesn't hurry up and get back on track, he is gonna lose that position once again. We got Kenny on the back of Dusty here, so Dusty might lose that position right at the end here to Kenny. Kenny is through, so he goes around the outside, but is Dusty able to hold on? No, he isn't. So Kenny around the outside overtakes Dusty there. So Kenny up to 2nd place. Good move there from Kenny. Matsutsi now also a bit slower than what he was. He's making a lot more mistakes now as he runs off the field. Ooh, not looking good there. Back into the grass on the other side of the track now, struggling a lot. Kenny is making up some huge ground here, so Matsutsi might even lose this to Kenny in the last couple of laps. We're on lap 35 now of 37. So all the action happening here now in these last few laps. Matsutsi struggling to keep the car straight almost by the looks of it, so Kenny making some serious time here now on these guys. Rock manages to take BT again, so Rock goes up to 7th place. Ratek into the pits. Ooh, slide there from Matsutsi. This is all playing into the hands of Kenny. If Kenny can just keep going fast on these last few laps here, he might take the win. Ratek goes down to 8th place after pitting. BT overtakes Rock again, so BT up into 6th. 6th place BT, 7th place Rock, and Ratek into 8th place. So not a good day of racing for Ratek. Matsutsi managing to find pace again here. He manages to hold on to that lead for now. Kenny trying desperately to catch him on these last laps. Bit of a spin there, so Kenny is closing that gap surely but steadily. And it is the final lap now, so massive pressure here for Matsutsi to hold on to this lead, with Kenny breathing down his neck now on this final lap. Ooh, recovers there. The car went a bit sideways. He manages to get it under control, but that gives Kenny just enough time to try and make a move there, but closes the door on Kenny. Kenny's sending it as fast as he can through these corners now, trying everything he can. Matsutsi going very wide into this corner, so that allows Kenny up the inside. So racing side by side now on this final lap. Kenny is trying to get through, but Matsutsi just holding that inside. Kenny goes round the outside, and Kenny is through. So Kenny is taken first place on the final lap now. The rain really benefiting Kenny here. He manages to make up 2 positions. Matsutsi struggling in this rain. Matsutsi comes to a stop. I think he's run out of fuel. He's gone. So Matsutsi from first to last, all in the space of 1 lap. Dusty up into second because of that, so Berries will take third. What a race from Kenny, just to hold in there and take that first place. Kenny crosses the line, taking first place. Dusty's coming around that final corner. He'll take second place after a hard-fought race for him. Struggling to keep the car straight there, I think, but over the line he goes. Berries is going to come around there and take his first race position this season, and he will take third. Trov coming to that final section. He's going to take 4th place. Can you hear Kenny doing his celebratory donuts there? Looks like Roy is joining him, so Roy is finished a couple laps down, but finished. Well earned victory there from Kenny. Very well done. Barry's also joining in on the donuts. BT has finished the race there. And that is the results for tonight's race. So Kenny takes the first position. We've got Dusty in second place. Berries takes third. Those are our top three. Trov in fourth place there. Rock takes fifth. So great show from Rock to hold in there and get fifth place. BT is taking sixth tonight. Ratek in seventh. Shadow will be in 8th place, and Matsutsi and Pressure both unable to finish the race, both running out of fuel. Matsutsi on the final lap from first place, he lost it due to fuel. Unlucky race for him, but good race up until then, and a great result there for Kenny and Dusty, who once again are on the podium. So thanks for watching, everybody. This has been the second event of the SCORCH series. We will be back next week, Monday and Wednesday, with our Rally Fighters Championship. So if you like Rallycross or you want to check us do some Rallycross, check back next week, Monday and Wednesday at 8 o'clock GMT plus 2 South African time. Thanks for watching. Cheers, guys.